Hey guys, I just wanted to make short as possible communication video that is mainly related to the infantry soldiers, and I'll try to separate it in several segments so it's easier for you to digest. First segment will be calling out based on cardinal directions. So in this particular case in Utah, the top of the part of the map is north, the bottom is south, the right side is east, the left is west, this diagonal is northwest, this is northeast, this is southeast, this is southwest. The reason why cardinal directions are very important is because when you are not fighting in an area that has objects that the teammates can easily relate to, like here, like in the chapel, we have three-story building. It's very difficult to actually orientate because you can't say, well, let's say for example when you get shot, oh, I got shot from some of these hedges or somewhere, and then your teammates, squad mates are confused like which hedge, this one, that one, that one. It's all over the place. But when you call it out directly from my position, directly north, or let's say directly south from my position, directly east from my position, directly west from my position, then teammates, when they locate your body, or whether it's through map or they see you in game, they know exactly what you're talking about. And I just want to give you a few examples on how this is very useful, right? So let's just say that you are pushing towards the chapel, you get shot directly to your north. And I'll just, before I actually give this example, I'd just like to remind you the way you can tell where you get shot from. So for example, let's say you get shot from directly around from the north. You will have a small little indicator before the bullet connects the body on your right side, and that's how you know that you got shot from the right. Or if it's from the back, you'll kind of see it, you'll feel it from the back, or you're not gonna see it at all. If it's from the front, you'll see that little red indicator in front of you. If it's from the south, you'll see that red indicator coming from your left. So I'm sure that anytime in game, when you play the game, when you get shot, you'll see those indicators. Just pay attention to it. But based on those indicators, you can easily tell where you get shot from, right? So let's just say that you as a squad, you're pushing now this particular objective chapel. You see that red indicator on your right, you know that you got shot from directly from the north, and you can easily tell your teammates, oh, when you die, oh, I got shot from directly north of my body. And then your teammates can easily dedicate their attention, and they know, oh, they see your body either, like I said, on the map, or they see you in game directly north, it must be alongside those fences, and they'll easily be able to locate the target. Same case scenario, let's say you got shot from these three buildings, and you see that little red indicator coming like this to the left, then you can tell your teammates, oh, somewhere southwest of my body I got shot from, and let's just say that you got a teammate alongside this little tree yard, and then he'll see you, and you told him, oh, southwest of his body, that must be around this house or around these fences, and you can easily try to track that guy that killed your teammate. Of course, if you get shot in the back, you can easily tell, oh, I got shot in the back to your teammates directly east of my position. So if you got a teammate, let's say that is located here, for example, and you call him out that directly east of you there's an enemy, then he knows that the enemy must be around hills somewhere, and he'll try to have easy time locating that enemy. You also can, of course, mention here whether you got shot really close or longer distance, and this you will know based on your sound. So if someone is really close to you, you'll hear that gun sound is really loud and kind of short traveling. And if you got shot from longer distance, let's say from over there, you'll hear the bullet traveling, and based on the sound of the gun, you can guess roughly how far away that guy was. And that's of course very important piece of information to your teammates, because they'll have easier time guessing where exactly east is that guy located from. Now the second this point segment leads into a second segment, which is importance of doing these callouts. Just one thing that I want to mention, apologize, before I move on to second segment, is that this calling out works also based on your teammates. So for example, if you see a teammate, like let's say walking around this little road, or you know, this little street. Let's say there's something north of him, like an infantry or a tank or whatever, where you can tell to your teammate Joe or whatever he's called, hey Joe, north of you there is a guy on the street, be careful. And then he immediately knows, oh, to my north, you know, there is a guy, I can deal with him. You can even check that compass, for example, if you get confused in game. But yeah, you can tell to your teammates as well, oh, to your north, to your south, to your west, to your east, there is tank, there is infantry, there is this, there is that. So that your teammate has very easy time orientating on his own location, instead of you telling him, oh, somewhere on your left, or on your left, or on your right, or on your this, on your that, and he's like, oh, what is my left, what is your right? You know, sometimes you can gets a little bit confusing. So when you do it with Cardinal, it's very precise and you know, very consistent. Now that all of this lead me to the second point, which is importance of doing these callouts, mainly that callouts when it's possible, right? When you're able to identify where you got shot from. So let's say, for example, you know, you get shot from to your direct north, and you tell your squad mates, oh guys, I got shot from, or your teammates locally, I got shot directly to my north. They know like, oh, his body was here, directly north was over there. Oh, there's a guy, I kill him, that's it, he's gone. Now, if you get shot from somewhere, right, and you are unable to tell your squad mates, or you forget about it to tell your squad mates or your teammates where that you got shot from, then they'll not really don't know where you got killed from. So what that means is that if I'm teammate of this guy who died, I'll just push forward and I might die too, you know. And then if I don't tell to my squad or my local chat, very importantly as well, because if I have my teammates that are not part of my squad, if I'm unable to tell, or I forget to tell them because let's say I got tilted, or you know, I just not aware of this concept in the first place, then my teammate will die to it too, right? So while if you are actually able to call it out immediately in squad chat and in local chat, then your teammate will immediately be able to locate if the guy is located north, or if you said like somewhere northeast, or if you said northwest, or somewhere southwest, or directly west, or directly south, or southeast, then they can immediately focus their attention towards that threat, eliminate it, and move forward. So every time, whenever possible, make sure to call it out each time you die to your teammates in local chat if there's lots of teammates around you who are not part of your squad, and in squad chat if it's just your squad fighting around somewhere. Now the next point will be also calling out when you face an enemy. So let's just imagine this scenario where your squad, you're part of the squad who is pushing chopper, right? So you're pushing here, and you know, let's just imagine the case where you have your teammate who is on the left and he's trying to push the chapel, you have teammate who is on your right, he's trying to push this canal, and let's say you end up here on this spot and you notice an enemy behind these logs, right? So your first obviously reaction when you spot an enemy behind the logs is will be try to shoot him, and you know, let's just imagine a scenario where you actually locate this guy and you eliminate him. Now if you tell to your teammates in squad chat, and again in local chat if you are having like teammates that are not part of your squad, and you tell them, oh, there's a guy next to the logs north of you guys, or you know, north, whatever, or you know, northwest of you if they're behind you, and you tell them that you kill them, then all of these guys, the teammate on your right and teammate on your left, can freely push the chapel because he knows this area is clear and he doesn't need to dedicate his focus on this area at all. So he can completely focus on chapel, on this area over here, over there, and he can rush in and push forward. Now if you, let's say another example, you locate that guy, right, we just rewind a little bit, and then let's say you miss this guy, and then you tell to your teammates in squad and local chat, oh, there's a guy behind the logs north of you, I didn't kill him, he's alive. Then your teammate who is, let's say, left of you, he can first try to pick this guy, locate him, eliminate him, and then focus his attention towards chapel, or in any other case, in any other angle. Same with your teammate on the right, he's like, oh, this guy is alive, I have to actually chill a little bit here, make sure to kill him, and then move on. So this is why it's extremely important to call these out things, because in case you don't, right, which unfortunately happens a lot. So let's just say, you know, we go a little bit backwards and you fight this guy and you actually kill him, right? but you don't call it out to your teammate in squad chat, in local chat, then what's gonna happen is that your teammate on the left, who is aware that you're fighting the guy around the logs or somewhere north of his current position, because he doesn't know if that guy is killed, he has to pick that guy first to clear it out. And what can actually happen is that in the meantime there's an enemy in chapel window or enemy inside of the chapel, enemy on the right, picking him in the timing and actually killing him, because he had to stop and check it out if this guy is alive or dead, you know. In the other case scenario, let's just say that like you shoot that guy, fight him, you don't kill him, and you miss all the bullets, and you don't call it out to your teammates, and let's say your teammate thinks that you actually kill him because he doesn't know, then when he pushes chapel, he can easily get shot from the logs and he dies. So in both cases scenarios, it's actually your fault because you didn't call it out to your teammates. So it's not actually a problem that you missed the guy or you kill him. It's actually a problem that you didn't tell him. You didn't tell them this information, which is extremely important. And I would like to add a few more things regarding this. You know, generally speaking, you know, when you locate this kind of people behind these logs in particular, or if you locate an entire squad or two squads, like just scream it in local chat and in squad chat so that people are aware of it. And the reason why this is so important, why I'm keeping underlining this, is because the high let loose for infantry players is really all about knowledge of enemy positions. It's all about information, and the more informations the entire team has and the players individually have, they will be able to make better decisions because they have better vision of what's going on around them. And if you are a bit quiet, a bit passive communication wise, you don't call out these things, then you kind of have to go for 50-50 because you're not aware of what's going on the battlefield. So every time you spot an enemy, you shoot him, call it out, oh, I killed a guy around the logs, or I killed a guy behind the tree, and then my teammate knows that he doesn't need to worry about that tree or about that log, so he can focus on something else. If I miss the guy around this tree, I tell my teammate, hey guys, there's a guy directly north around the tree, I missed him, be careful. And local, hey guys, be careful, there's a guy north, I missed him. Then a teammate who is pushing, let's say on your left or on the right, he's like, oh, okay, there's a guy on the tree, I need to kill him first before I push somewhere else. And then that's how you work together as a team. Besides this, I would like to also, you know, point out a few more things, and that is related a little bit to squad leaders in a sense, because sometimes, let's just say you spot something important, let's say you spot like a lot of people behind these logs, probably meaning there is one or two outposts over there, there is a garrison, or you spot a tank. Sometimes you have to say those very important information multiple times, because the squad leader is very busy hearing all the things in command chat. He's very busy listening to every time a lot of people giving comms in the squad. So let's just say you spot a tank or lots of people on the ping. You say, oh, you say it multiple times. Oh, there's a tank on my ping north. There's a tank on my ping. There's a tank on my ping. You say it several times, or oh, there's a guy here. There's a guy here. There's a guy here. And then the squad leader can actually filter out your call out because it's actually more important than some other call outs in that moment. Because spotting enemy tanks, spotting enemy garage, spotting enemy OPs, that's a top priority in terms of calls. And you know, compared to, let's say, spotting one infantry guy, which is like still important but like lower in terms of priority. Now I have two more things to cover that are not particularly related to previous three segments, and that is, number one is pinging. You know, from technical perspective. So let's just say that, you know, you spot your enemy infantry behind these walls, and of course you learn first three segments, so you are going to call this out to your teammates so they're aware that there is a guy behind this stone fence, right? Now if you ping, let's just say you're located here and then there's your teammate over there. Now if you ping the guy like this on top of the fence, then the guy, your teammate who is on your left, might not be able to see him because the ping is actually covering his chest and his head. And what can actually happen is that, like, when you're trying to like wait for that ping to go away, the opponent actually spots you first and kills you. So the better solution is to really just ping below like this and say like, oh, there's a guy behind the fence around my ping, and then your teammate will know based on your ping roughly where he is, and he'll be able to see the chest and head and just fire. Same thing goes if, let's say, you spot a machine gun that is laying on the ground. You don't want to ping on top of the machine gun, ideally you want to ping either left or the right, so that the teammates who is on the left or whoever can easily shoot a guy, because if it's top of the ping, then he might not be able to see the machine gun clearly. And this is really problematic when the infantry is aware of your position, so there's like really no times for mistake. Now there is one exception to this, and that is like if you are trying to eliminate a machine gun, generally speaking, stationary target from long distance. So for example, let's say that you spot a machine gun on top of this house, and let's say this is like 300-400 meters. Like this is often the case on maps like Purple Heart Lane or Remagen, where you have these machine guns camping from massive distance. So you use your binocs to actually spot him clearly, and what you can do is actually ping the machine gun exactly on his head, and then you yourself use that gun or your teammates to actually shoot that ping exactly and hopefully headshot machine gun from big distance. Now this can work, but generally speaking on like close range combat, what you want to do is actually always ping below so it doesn't cover up the enemy. And the last thing I want to cover up in this video is just small communication regarding when footsteps. The problem with footsteps in this game is that your teammates and your enemies sound exactly the same, and if you're not aware that your teammate is approaching you behind your back, sometimes that can be very deadly. So let's just imagine a scenario where there's two teammates pushing the chapel. One is pushing the first, that will be right now me in this case, and let's say imagine that there is my teammate coming from my back like 30-40 meters, and let's say I'm not aware that he's there, whatever. Now I'm gonna push up the chapel. I'm gonna clear this angle first, maybe clear the left angle, then I'm gonna peek slowly this area, clear the opening, clear the staircase, and then in the same time I hear footsteps approaching behind me, right? So naturally what I have to do in this situation is that I have to check what's behind me, because there could be an enemy pushing towards from these trenches. And what can happen and what happens is that because you're now dedicating your attention towards your back, sometimes the enemy actually peeks out and kills you. But in fact it was actually a teammate who was approaching you and basically just die for nothing. So what you want to do is this teammate who is approaching, you just say, oh, I'm at your 6, or I'm behind you, so that teammate who is in front of you can understand that footsteps are your friendlies, not enemies, and he can keep focusing on what's in front of him. So yeah guys, I think that will be it from overall all those tips. Currently nothing really comes to my mind, but I would like to just underline one more time the importance for soldiers of that active communication. When you're getting shot, try to locate based on indicators where you got shot from, and then make sure to call out in your squad chat and your local chat for your teammates. If you are, of course you can use this cardinal, directions for yourself and for your teammates. You can say easily from my east for my body, southeast for my body, north for my body, northwest for my body. Or if your teammate's somewhere else, you can say, oh, there is north of you, there is a guy directly north of you. Oh, northeast of your current position, there's something. Northwest of your current position, there's something. And then he will immediately say, oh, northwest, oh, that's here. I can easily direct myself attention towards them. So that's something that is very important. And of course, whether you're getting shot or whether you're locating enemy, make sure to call it out, even if you miss the shot or you kill it, because that's extremely important information. When you spot a guy, let's say you kill him, you say, oh, I killed one guy on my ping, you guys don't need to worry about him. Or you spot a guy on your ping, you shoot him, you miss him, then you tell to your guys, oh guys, be careful on your north or your south, whatever, around my ping, there's a guy, I didn't kill him, so they know that I actually have to clear that ping first before moving somewhere else. And like I explained before that, if you don't call out these things, then your teammates will die, and that will reduce the overall effectiveness of the squad. And yeah, the last thing, like I said, when you're around your teammates a lot, and sometimes you spot something very important, don't be afraid to call it out in local chat or squad chat multiple times in a row. Oh, there's a guy in my body, there's a guy in my body, oh, there's a tank next to me, there's a tank next to me, so that they are more alert. Because like I said, sometimes squad leaders are overwhelmed, sometimes soldiers are tunnel visioning because they have more important things, or they have very important things in front of them, so they're not able to process the information. So sometimes pinging several times something very important is very, very useful. And yeah, when you're pinging, make sure to always ping below, because if you ping on top of this fence, for example, it will block the vision. It will screw up the teammate's ability to actually finish the kill. So yeah, that will be it. Yeah, just always have in mind that information is king in this game for infantry, and don't be afraid to speak out, give those callouts, keep the comms active, and because everyone will benefit from it, from your squad mates and your teammates.